I'd like to start this video off today on a slightly more serious note. A friend of mine asked me to help raise awareness for a artist friend of hers who's currently trying to raise money for keratoconus surgery. Keratoconus is a condition that can cause blindness in both eyes if not treated, and the art is this person's livelihood. So you can see how much of an existential threat this could be to this person's life. If you'd like to show your support or give a helping hand, consider buying a sticker, as the ones I'm showing on screen, and also you could donate to the links below. Links to the stickers and the donation page will be in the top of the description. Thank you. Anything and everything helps. Now back to the content, and thank you for your consideration. Welcome back, everybody, and today we're going to be checking out this trash character design for Psylocke Season 2. Now, why do I keep calling this trash and why do I find it boring? Because it's not exciting, okay? Like I mentioned in the previous video, it's just fucking leotard and some stockings and like gloves and stuff, and that's it. And the hair itself is just, straight, long, generic hair. Another thing that really disappoints me is the sword. Let's get stuff out the way. The sword itself in the gray box looks dull AF. There's no like cool wrappings around it. It's just dull and boring. The shaders are carrying too much. Shaders shouldn't be doing this much. I preferred it more when it was more modeled than anything, because now when you go into the gray box it looks so dull. It looks so like, and yeah, but screw it. Let's do this thing. So as usual, thank you for your support, and if you'd like to support me on Patreon, you know what to do. So let's start off with the hair. So it's standard issue Marvel Rivals hair. You have the inner part, the main body with the little accents of it that also cover the eyebrows and the eyelashes. So without those, I mean, you see the huge difference it makes. But just the hair is so generic, just generic long woman hair, I do appreciate how they did this, like with these lines here. Again, I did mention huge comic book fan, but I like comic books more for the art, so that's kind of what drew me to these models. And then the head, though, I'm curious about the inside of the mouth. Now, there's something I haven't explained, and I realized, and that's how these mouths look in wireframe. So you see this little bubble-looking thing? That's the inside of the mouth. You don't really need to go all the way down to the esophagus, because, when they are talking and opening their mouth, the teeth that are in there will kind of obscure. And also, it's got to be dark in the mouth. But wait, I want to show you how it looks like with the mouth. Yeah. You see? So the mouth sits snug in there. And like I said, the mouth is probably most definitely pre-made. And then they just slap it in there. So with the Luna Snow model, that inside part of the mouth, this part here, was actually colored in, was textured in. And when I look at this one and we go into solid mode, like, it's not, Also here on the UVs, we come to body, yeah, head, no, on head, man, this model's really taking it out of me, because it's so trash. Anyway, with the Luna Snow model, down here was some like redness for the inside of the mouth, but I think it's probably being handled by another material. And of course, we have the head being colored in. This, like I said, it's really cool. I saw this on the Devil May Cry model, and I really liked it. And they did it here also. That's nice. So with the hair, but it's kind of pointless because the hair. Okay, no, it's not pointless. It's not. It's for that effect. You see that effect here? Like around here, how it's like the two different tones with the roots on it. That's why it's there for. Let me put my hater gene away. Don't be such a hater. But I'm still, like I said, I feel like this design is extremely uninspired. Next up, let's talk about the body. Now, a lot of the body has been modeled because a lot of skin is exposed with this particular design. So this particular character design. So like this part here, it's like high rise all the way up, so you see it's been all the way modeled. So because it's such a high cut leotard design, they required the meshes there, especially when it like starts moving and stuff. It starts bending and contorting and all that. But still, and I want to see how they set up the it's ORM. Okay, so do you see how with this one, the hands don't take up as much economy as the previous Psylocke model and the Luna Snow model, and also the hands have been overlapped. You only see two, like front and back, because they have overlapped them on top of each other. I'm gonna assume that's because this hand doesn't have much like in the way of individual unique details, unlike Luna Snow, who had like pretty nail polish being done, and love that kind of attention to detail. More UV space has been given to the body for obvious reasons, because it's more exposed, making it lame. And then yeah, that's all I gotta say about that one. The normal maps are for like the pores and things like that. Alright, yeah, so the normal maps for this one seem to be being used for what they usually use them for, which is to make things that are in depth or sticking out go in depth or stick out a bit more than they would have had you just used regular diffuse textures. Dog, this design is so boring, it's literally sapping the energy out of me. But we gotta do this. I promised 3 back-to-back Marvel Rival videos, so let's freaking do this. Now we can go to the next part, which is the body. Now, which is the leotard itself. This is probably, to me, the most exciting part, because it's comprised of all these interesting parts, namely the main body here, these two things that these like elbow pads. I like the little detail on those ones, and of course this wrist thing. And the black spot you're seeing is where the wrapping goes on top. Again, I need some explanation as to why they have texture underneath it. Can't they just like make it disappear? Do they just make them disappear for the gameplay one? I don't know. Somebody smarter than me, hop in the comments and save me. Let's see how they. This is equip 1. Okay, now if there's one thing you can take away from these Marvel Rival models is how good they pack their UVs. Okay, they really good space. They prioritize things that are important, and yeah. So like I said, comprised of 3 parts. This first main part here, which is all joined together, because when I hit Control L, it selects all of them. You have the arm here. You see that? Again, because it's a really important aspect, gets a really big chunk of the UV space, and then the next one here, the other part, again, gets a corner, gets about, I'd say like what, 15% of it, I'd assume. And then the rest of it here are, which parts are these? This is the insides. Okay. Cool. So you see how the insides of it are this little spot out here, but then the outsides are the bigger pieces. That's economy. And then these two also get like a bit of like space on their own over here. Yeah, but also there's a proper, if you look at it, there's a proper like spacing between these. Pay attention to that. When they start to bleed into each other, it starts looking pretty bad. So I just want to see. Okay, at least this is modeled. I like this fact that it's modeled, and then the textures come back and add like more visual splendor to it that I like. So, but this is why I'm saying, you see how like you can still see the outline of the belly button. This is clearly like, base mesh sculpted on top of base mesh. So I'm gonna go on a limb here and assume that they make these characters the same way I do, in which like they have some high poly meshes of like generic. I explained in the previous video, yeah, generic male, generic female. You then alter it, because yeah, that just saves on time. I use MB Lab, this add-on over here. Where is it? This one here, to create my character base meshes. I could make them from scratch, but it's just gonna take too long, and I don't have that kind of time. Okay, next bit. Okay, so this is all the details on top of that. Again, it's not as inspired. I do kind of like these moments though, right here. That's cool. And remember, with the previous one, they put all the red cloth textures onto one because it's all cloth, and then all the other same fabrics or the same textures. With this one, looks like they were like, no, we're just gonna put everything onto one of them. Which, again, nothing against that. That's actually see why. It's because these are small little parts. You see these, the rest of these, like the little rings and stuff, and the little straps, the slightly little straps. Yeah, they are all put on the same thing because they're not gonna take up that much economy. So I'm not too mad at that. I'm not too mad at that at all. This cloth thing is probably my favorite aspect of it all. Really, it's a bit of a saving grace. I like that. I like how they did that. That's nice. That's nice. That's cool. That's really cool. Let's see. Okay. And also with this one, they put all the metallic parts. You see how over here, every metallic part is on top of the same area. Every metallic part here. This is what I was expecting from the little rubies and the jewels that were on Luna's shoulders. But for whatever reason, they didn't. Clearly, people smarter than me decided to not do it that way. But okay. Now, the normals though gotta be really busy for this one because you got two different types of cloth. You have what I'm assuming is like leathery, rubbery, along with like the clothy fabricy, and you can see it here. Here's the clothy fabricy. You zoom in, it looks all clothy and fabricy, but when you zoom in, you gotta zoom in real close, or you gotta make the normal maps a lot stronger to see them, like I've done before in other videos. I'm not gonna do that for this one though. This one looks boring as fuck. Sorry YouTube, didn't mean to swear. I mean I said flip. It's boring as flip. But what else can I say? They put all the metal stuff on all together, all the cloth stuff all together, all the rubbery stuff all together, and there it is. Cool. And now we can go to the second last thing, which is these like legging boot stocking things. And then we go to look at the sword, and then we are done with this goofy little model. So one thing that disappoints me though is that this really cool looking like butterfly spirally pattern is only being done by shaders. It's only being done by the materials and the diffuse and normals and the aura ends, because when you go into solid mode, it looks like that. You know, the boots themselves, boring AF, dude. Just some fucking high heel boots. Yeah, the only interesting moment is like around here, because everything else is being done by the shader. I wish they did it like the Luna Snow one. Remember the details on the Luna Snow one? I wish they'd done it like that, but maybe I'm being nitpicky, you know? Because if we go here and check, this is under equip 2. If we come back here and check equip 2, you'll see what I mean. Here's the legs, there's the little under part of the booties, and then we check the normals. You see, they didn't even make them like that strong or that pronounced. They could have made them stronger and even more pronounced, but they didn't. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Let's just quickly check the UV. What have I been doing, man? This model is so freaking uninspired. Now let's check out this sword and finally be done with this trash. The sword, I already looked at it a bit in the beginning, but again, look, when you go into solid mode, it gets boring, because again, all the important cool stuff is being done by the... You can model something like this and then just strap it on, okay? You can. Y'all just being lazy for real. Even the little tie on it still ain't a saving grace. It's still... Because again, going to solid mode, and it's just doing nothing for me. It's just not doing anything. The handle even, do you remember the previous handle had like this cool flower pattern on it? This one just doesn't. So, and then you hide it. The blade, okay, the blade is the only thing that looks better than the previous one, because now it actually looks like a blade instead of like the pink thing, but I kind of like the pink one a bit more. So this is just a regular old, boring old katana. And yeah, I think that's it. So that's all for Psylocke Season 2. Thanks for joining me. Sorry for being so pissy and stuff. It's just that I find this type character designs extremely boring and uninspired. Like, what else can I talk about, huh? Like, what else? So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You want to support me on Patreon? Support me on Patreon. I'm gonna take a pause on Marvel Rivals for like the next 3-4, maybe hopefully rest of my freaking videos, until I need a boosty up in views. Then I'm gonna hop back to Marvel Rivals. But anyway, I'm out. See y'all.